4, 3, 2, and you're gonna have to wait till the end for number 1. Hi you guys, my name is Sarah. It is early in the morning. But that's reality. This is when I'm editing the video. This is my top 4 for 2022, the most viewed on YouTube. Thank you for stopping by. We're gonna just do a quick overview of my 4 most popular videos of this year. Thank you for all your love and support, and I hope you have a safe and happy New Year's, and I will see you in 2023. Enjoy my top 4, you guys. Okay, number 4. This old cabinet, no top, missing hardware, peeling paint. Don't worry, I did test it for lead. There was no lead present, so I went ahead and began stripping it with my heat gun. I hate stripper, and I only use it if I absolutely have to. Didn't feel like I had to, and this one, it wasn't fully coated in paint. So, heat gun, peeled off the paint, and then I sanded it nice and smooth. There were a couple of repairs on it that I had to do with the base, and I plugged up the holes because I wasn't going to be well, it didn't come with hardware, so I don't think it came with hardware. I don't know, it was a long time ago. And with this one, I was inspired by a picture frame in my dining room of my mum and dad, so I decided to go bold or go home. So I painted it red. Super controversial, especially to the people who don't like painted furniture. So I wanted to add some texture to it. I wanted to add some texture to it, so I made it out of baking soda. In Australia it's called bicarb, and added some of the red paint that I used, but then I wanted it more of a deeper color, so I added some brown to it. Mixed it all in and just started adding the texture. Toned it all down with a wash. And then my favorite part, I put a stencil all over this guy. That's the frame that inspired me, and I wanted to make a piece of furniture that looked like this picture frame, because this picture frame brought me joy, or brings me joy. So why does anyone paint furniture? Because it brings you joy. Brought me joy. Once that was all done, I protected it and then had to build a top because this thing didn't come with a top. I am not a professional. I've never claimed to be. This was my first time doing this, and I think I did okay. There's definitely room for improvement, but I always feel that way about myself, that there's room for improvement. Cut this old table down to size and sanded it back, attached it with glue and wood screws. Then I gave it a paint effect. Much like the red, I toned it all down with paint wash and then protected it. Tried to sell it, didn't sell, but that's okay because I really did love it and wanted to keep it. So I did. It's now in my entryway. You can see it there in the background. That's when I was trying to sell it. Alright, this dresser used to be Phil's dresser. We damaged it a little bit in the move and the top came loose, so there were a couple of repairs, but this guy was a one and done, a one-day makeover. mostly because of an all-in-one paint, and I didn't really have to do anything to the drawers. Just a simple repair and paint job, which you gotta love those. I used Minwax, walnut, wood fill there, which I don't particularly like. Sorry, but I won't go into that right now, but I don't like it. Sanded back the top to bare wood. And then scuff sanded the rest of the piece. Now to fix this top, this had come loose, so I just took it all the way off, sanded everything back smooth, glued her back on there and staple gunned it so it wasn't going anywhere. And then of course I glued the top back down and also nailed that down. Once all that was done, all I had to do was stain the top in dark walnut. And then here's the all-in-one paint by Dixie Belle. It is Hampton Olive. It is beautiful. Whenever I use all-in-one paint, I always feel like I'm cheating somehow because there's not like multiple layers to it. But like anytime I paint, I do thin coats because you don't want drip marks and you don't want brush strokes. So the way in which you eliminate those two is by thin coats and sanding in between. And here we go with the second coat later on that day. I decided I was going to clean and give a quick touch up with a flat black for the handles. Then I had some anti-stain lacquer in matte because the all-in-one paint is sort of like a matte finish, so that's what I had at the time. And it was lovely. All right, number 2, lovingly known as the Blocky Dresser. I found it particularly dated and ugly. That's my personal opinion, not an attack on anyone or the piece. So I removed all those dated bits, and I honestly thought I was going to do something different to this dresser. I tried to use pole wrap, but I couldn't find it to save myself. So even though it was on the website, it said it was in the store, when I went, the man looked at me like I had 3 heads. So at this point I just knew I was just removing all the dated blocks because I didn't like them and wanted them gone. So the top was also damaged, and at this point I thought I was going to remove it and do something else, but that thing didn't end up working, so I ended up putting the top back on and just making repairs, which I should have just done at the beginning. But anyway, you live and you learn. The base was dated, so that had to go, and I made some repairs to the particle board, which was just split in a couple of areas, but that was a fairly easy fix. This is dried overnight, and this now is rock hard. It was a little split before because of the nail, but now. And then I scuff sanded everything smooth. You want to make sure when you're sanding back the Bondo that you really get a good smooth edge. You don't want an edge showing up. And then this is a modified base to the one that I use. I'm not using a front panel, just the lace. And you're going to see my humanity in about 5 seconds. Okay, did anyone else notice I put the wrong legs on each side? Alright, so Craig also make these little plugs. It's not ideal that I stuffed up that way, but save wasting this whole piece of wood. Just going to plug that up. It's going to be on the side. Really not going to draw that much attention to it. Alright, back at it. I ended up flipping the top over because of the top side was so damaged. I flipped it over and it needed priming. Then I wanted just to fill in all the gaps with paintable cork, and I had a custom color which was basically just leftover blue and leftover black because I wanted a darker blue, and that's the color I used on the piece. Not wanting to waste, so I do that a lot, not wanting to waste, and I just combine colors. A lot of furniture painters do that. I'm doing that because there's some divots in the wood. And then, much like the previous video, this took 2 coats because you just want thin coats. It reduces brush marks and it reduces possibility of dripping. And I always like to finish out with a nice long stroke. Alright, so here's my solution to what do? Can't find pole wrap. I'm going to play a game of Tetris. So I put all these blocks of woods, I put the wood pieces back on the drawer fronts and cut them down to size, sanded everything back. And I felt like the natural color of the oak just went really nice. I think it's oak. I honestly, I don't know all wood species. Anyway, so to bring out the natural colour of the wood, I used Howard's Bead Wax to protect it this time. And I also did something else new, which was using hemp oil on this guy. So I went ahead, put that on, wiped it back, and was too impatient. I took all the afters while the hemp oil was still wet, but that's okay. And here it is, number 1. It is my most viewed video, this bench. It was in rough shape. She was falling apart and the lady just wanted to get rid of it. I am not I'm not a person who does upholstery, so there was no way. A lot of people got upset with me that I didn't restore it back to its original glory with upholstery and all that sort of stuff. I upholstered a bench once and that was it. There's no way that I would attempt to reupholster this with cushioning in the back and on the seat and then try and sell it. I can't do that. So I made all the necessary repairs, glued this thing back together again, shored it up with those, you know, triangle pieces in the seating area just so it didn't wobble anymore. Wood filled the gaps, and then once all that was dry, sanded everything back. And then the hot glue trick, which is not my trick. Alright, so we have a break here. That's pretty significant. I'm gonna hot glue this part here, this whole section, as a mold so I can recreate it for the other front leg. But everybody loves this trick and it makes an impact, let me tell you. My dad made a suggestion last time I did a hot glue trick to put rebarb. So that's what I'm doing right now. These nails are acting as rebarb for my repair. This is just Bondo inside of it, peeling it off. Right, there we go. It's not going to be perfect. Yes! You guys, it's always a great surprise. And then because of what I previously talked about upholstering, I wanted to use barnwood for this and went ahead, added the barnwood, secured everything, even added barnwood to the back of it. And so dipping her in, I am doing a layered painting on this one. Started out with a cream, added the duck egg, added some texture. Use Coffee Bean by Dixie Belle, and I just did the good leg. So here's the leg, right? And I want the legs to have more of a natural stained look. This is not going to take stain. I'm just going to do like a painted stain effect, and this Coffee Bean is really nice. It's like a dark walnut. Added the rice paper, blended out the edges, and then I protected it all. Polyacrylic in satin. Well, that was it, you guys. My top 4 for 2022. I have a couple of videos lined up for 2023 already. I can't wait to see you guys in the new year, and make sure you hit that subscribe if you enjoyed these makeovers, because there'll be more coming in 2023. All right, you guys, have a safe and happy New Year's. Love ya. Bye.